The film has an outrageous start. It involves the biggest sentiment in Tamil cinema after the mother sentiment. It involves an ex who has gotten married and an ex's husband who is portrayed as a comic relief for a while. One might think it is just another attempt at milking humor out of some men who are seemingly out of league of some women, but an hour into the film, you understand that this is simply foreshadowing what's in store for our protagonist Agan, played by Pradeep Ranganathan, who does what he has been doing for the past two films and proves that practice indeed makes a man perfect. The best part of Dude is that everyone is in on the gags. Every actor knows that they're playing slightly caricaturish characters, and every actor plays it to the gallery. There is no place for any kind of subtlety. Of course, scathing social commentary is often seen in our films, but there is also the other successful route of preaching through humor. There is a scene involving a skipping rope, a fan, a hidden camera, and a prank that was wacky, smart, dangerous, and downright hilarious. In fact, every other scene in Dude is a lot of things put together, and there is no place for subtlety here either, as Kirtishwan is clear that even if the film is going to be bashed for its progressive politics, he wants the messaging to be loud and clear. And what is the messaging? Simple. Agency. Can a man say no to a woman? Yes. Can a woman say no to a man's proposal? Yes. And so far so good, but since the film is called Dude and not Dudette, the man who once said no is coerced to say yes to a lot of things that step into sketchy territories. But the conviction in the writing and the earnestness of Pradeep ensure that the ride, although it takes one sharp turn after another, has things under control and reaches a familiar destination. I repeat, there will be spoilers in this review, so kindly use your discretion. So let's talk about the progressive politics in the film. Kirtishwan asks you such tough questions that you don't expect from the vibe the film and the team generated. It talks about honor killing and even approaches it with a rare levity, something that was seen in, let's say, Varthapada Valibar Sangam. It talks about divorce and it approaches it with a lot more sensitivity than most serious films. It all talks about choice, it talks about friendship, it talks about remarriage, it talks about romance, it talks about timing, it talks about chemistry, it talks about social media addiction, and it does a pretty good job on most of these fronts. But the lack of subtlety in these portions acts as a deterrent because the convenience in some choices is magnified. Hridu Harun as Pari shouldn't have been this dumbed down, and it's almost infantilizing the choices of Kural, who is played by Mamitha Baiju. Why couldn't he have been someone with more clarity instead of just being the punching bag? Of course, Agan's responses to his incredulous arrangement is there for everyone to see. But what is Pari going through? Such glaring misses are glossed over by the infectious energy of Pradeep in the second half, which can seem polarizing. You either buy it or you don't. But again, it's not for the lack of trying on Kirtishwan's part. Agan likes Kural and he has always not been comfortable seeing her in tears. And when a kid is thrown into the mix, it makes sense that Agan stays back simply because he understands what it means to not have a father. But even if these nuances are lost in the overarching scheme of fun and witty exchanges, the film just feels a little bit richer with such additions. And coming to the performances, Mamitha has a couple of standout scenes and she aces the tough ask of ugly crying. Dravida Selvam makes a decent impact in a role that has very little to do except appear at particular frequency to push the narrative forward. The real hero is Sarath Kumar, who has a hoot and then some more. He plays Pahalvalathurai Amachar Adiyaman Aragappan, and it is beautiful how, when he is set to clock 40 years as an actor, Sarath Kumar is still able to wow us with diverse performances in films like 3BHK and Dude in the same year. Kirtishwan gets the casting right and everything else falls into place. But it is very much a director's film, and the filmmaker in his debut shines bright in dealing with a topic that can feel taboo for some, funny for a few more, utopia for a lot more, and downright offensive for the rest. But he is steadfast in his belief that there is a story that needs to be told, and he doesn't want to burden his film with his own messaging and packages it as a festive entertainer with OTT performances and Sai Abhyankar's soundtrack that is Urum Blood heavy but still does the trick. The strength of many filmmakers who strictly ply their wares in the commercial entertainer zone is their ability to properly package a film, and Kirtishwan shows signs of having that ability. He wants you to laugh if you don't want to think. He wants you to think if you don't want to sympathize. He wants you to sympathize if you cannot empathize. He ensures the film is packed with enough to appeal to everyone's sensibilities. Till the end, there is this one question that goes unanswered in this film. A question that Agan asks his ex whose wedding he crashes in the first scene. A question that goes, why did you break up with me? I need closure. I honestly thought they would extend the running gag till the end where he and in turn we finally get an answer. But through the narrative, Kirti Shwan points out that sometimes the reason why someone doesn't like us isn't as important as the reason why someone likes us. And if you have someone who likes you despite who you are and what you have done, anyone can be a successful person. And Pradeep, more than Agan, is right on track to be one such dude. That's it from this video review episode. Do like, share, and subscribe to Cinema Express, and do let us know what you thought of the film and this review. Until we meet in the next episode, this is your friendly neighborhood critic, Avinash Ramachandran, signing off. Tata!